I have a lot of fire, like going forwards, looking forwards, and I can tend to forget or overlook looking back and reflecting. So today's episode is actually a guided practice where I'm going to guide you step by step on reflecting on the year. Welcome to the Seeing in the Dark podcast, the podcast for new ways of leading and doing business. No more separation between money, power, and leadership, and being a deeply spiritual human being. Seeing in the Dark is about walking paths that have not been walked before and truly making a change in a world in which old ways are crumbling. My name is Nicole Nima Costeres, CEO of a multiple six-figure soul-based business, and here to take you into the mysteries of purpose, power, intuition, and soul-based leadership. May you embody your own unique essence so deeply that your vibration naturally teaches, inspires, and assists others. Let's dive in. Welcome, everyone. I'm super excited to dive into episode 32 already. Like, the numbers go up quickly since I started to do these weekly episodes, and it feels so good because I feel like I can share about so many different things with you. And today, on this second last episode of the year, and also like on Christmas, I want to dive into reflecting on 2022. I feel that like for me, being a Sagittarius, being a generator, like I have a lot of fire, like going forwards, looking forwards, and I can tend to forget or overlook looking back and reflecting. So today's episode is actually a guided practice where I'm going to guide you step by step on reflecting on the year. Reflecting on the year in connection to you, yourself and your life, but also reflecting on the year in connection to your business and your mission. So we're going to do it through 10 questions, 5 focused on you and your life, 5 focused on your business, which of course is an important part of your life as well. Why do I want to do this? Like I shared, for me personally, I spend like a good month, if not a month and a half, on reflecting on the year. So I spend a good amount of time journaling, talking with friends and colleagues, like also like practically and ceremonially closing the year, because I feel that I get so much more integration and overview and clarity and inspiration if I kind of track what is moving in my life and my business. Yeah, track in the sense of looking at, hey, what can I actually celebrate instead of just going on to the next thing? Hey, what do I actually feel grateful for so that I can pause and see what's already here? What actually have been the transformations I've been going through instead of being in the transformations all the time, right? It's a moment to stop and pause and look back and see. And that's what I want to do with you today. So for this episode, you're going to need a pen and paper because, like I said, it will be a guided practice that I will guide you through step by step through the set of 10 questions. And this episode will help you to go into a conscious transition and kind of a fresh, clear start for the new year. I will do so. I will start the new year with Envisioning 2023. It will be a free masterclass that I also hosted last year, but this year it's going to be different. This year we're going to bring a more focus on creating the vision for your business specifically. So yes, we will include you personally. We will, of course, include your lifestyle, your life, but you will get a very clear and like vision and plan for 2023 for your mission and soul-based business. So if you feel excited about that, there is a link below this episode that will guide you to the free masterclass. And I warmly invite you to sign up, because you will receive a lot of clarity. Like, I've been setting it up way more simple. Last year we had a really big workshop, and it became like a really big vision with all types of areas of your life, which was beautiful as well. But now there will be more focus, more simplicity, more direction for specifically soul-based business, mission, and vision in that. Yeah. All right. So let's prepare. I invite you to get your pen and paper. I also invite you that if I go at any point too fast through the questions, to just simply pause the episode. That's what's really cool about listening to this podcast or watching this podcast. You can just pause it and take your time to take as much time as you need. All right. So we are going to start with 5 questions to reflect on your life. So here, these first 5 questions, you can just kind of look at your life in general, because the second 5 questions will zoom in specifically on your mission and business. Yeah. So the first 5 questions, just see what's the first thing that comes up when you look at your life, your lifestyle in general in 2022. All right. Before we start, I just want to take a few breaths together and just take a moment to tune in to 2022. Okay. So I invite you to take a moment and close your eyes. And just take a moment to take a few deep breaths in and out. Deep breath in. And sighing it out. Another deep breath in. Sighing it out, relaxing your jaw. And just allowing with each in and out breath for your awareness to come more and more into you. On the next out breath, relaxing your shoulders, softening your breath, and taking a deep in breath into your base, into your pelvis, into your hips. Relaxing your legs, feeling your feet on the ground, and just taking a moment to tune into this past year. Can you believe it? Already again, a year has passed. So often I feel like the year goes so quick, yet sometimes a week can feel like 6 months because so much is happening in it. So just taking a moment to feel back into this whole year. Maybe even feel back into your intentions and with which you started the year. Maybe you don't know them anymore, which is fine. Or maybe there is a few that really pop out that you remember, like, oh yeah, this was my intention for starting the year. And as you look back over 2022, question number 1 is, what are you celebrating, or what are you feeling proud of? What are you celebrating? What are you feeling proud of? And here I really invite you to celebrate the small things and the big things. Yeah, because it can be easy to go like, yeah, but that was not really big enough, or that's not really worth it to celebrate. Every small thing is worth celebrating. Yeah, every breakthrough, every insight, every growth, every challenge that you've overcome, every connection that you've made, like there's so many things that you can celebrate. So what are you celebrating this year? And you can start writing some things down. What are you celebrating, or what are you proud of this year? What are you proud of? Maybe some really beautiful expansion that you went through. Maybe some really important thing that you've been healing within yourself. Like one thing that I'm celebrating is that my relationship, I'm celebrating my relationship because we have been through a massive, massive challenge together. And we're definitely going to do an episode on it somewhere in the beginning of next year. But I am celebrating us because that was a massive initiation and test and deepening that we've gone through. And I'm also celebrating my friendships. I feel my friendships have been deepening so beautifully this year that I feel so grateful for that. So grateful. Yeah. So, what are you celebrating this year? And that will automatically lead into the second question, which is what are you grateful for? What are you grateful for? Because, like, one of the things I'm grateful for is that I have these amazing friendships now. Because a few years ago, my friendships kind of disappeared out of my life because I had been going through so much change, so much change. And also my friends from the past had been going through so much change, but we weren't changing in the same direction. And so I was losing a lot of people out of my life, and it felt like a moment for like it felt for actually quite a few months, if not years. It felt like, where did everybody go? So what I'm feeling grateful for is all these beautiful connections and relationships in my life, is our beautiful home, is the traveling that I love doing each year and that I have been doing this year. I'm grateful for the lifestyle that I'm able to live, for the things I'm able to do. What are you grateful for? And writing down some things that you are grateful for. I feel grateful for this body. I feel grateful for my health. I feel grateful for my plants. I love my plants. They make me really happy each day. What are you feeling grateful of? That's the second question. And just writing some things down. And just remember, if you need more time, just pause the episode, take more time, take all the time you need. What are you grateful for? Third question, what has been your biggest transformation this year? What has been your biggest transformation? For me, my biggest transformation this year has also been my biggest challenge this year, and that has been letting go of control, deepening my ability to surrender. That was my biggest transformation this year. But also, since it was touching upon some core wounding within myself, it also has been my biggest challenge. Yeah, it has been a year of a lot of death and letting go. Like this energy of death has been very present this year. Deep, deep, deep core woundings that have been touched. So that was my biggest transformation, on which I'm partly still in, but also my biggest challenge. So those are question 3 and 4. 3, what has been your biggest transformation, your biggest growth, your biggest expansion? And 4, what has been your biggest challenge? What has been your biggest challenge? Amazing. 5th question, is there a way that you can bring care or completion to this challenge? Yeah, so for me, like I shared, like the biggest challenge was letting go of control. In so many ways. I bumped into this challenge in my business. I bumped into this challenge in my facilitation. I bumped into this challenge in my relationship, in some of my friendships. It was all over the place. So going towards the end of the year, I'm asking myself, is there a way that I can bring care to this challenge in this moment? Is there a way I can bring completion to it? So one of the examples in that is I am going to go into, or by the time this episode released, I already have gone through a private plant medicine ceremony that I solely devote to a certain completion, or at least an amount of care that goes into this challenge that I've been experiencing this year. Because completion, I don't want to like pretend that, okay, now I'm doing this ceremony and now this topic is complete, because I know and we know that life can spiral it back into our, like from just another angle or just another layer, and that's fine. But I do want to bring a certain care towards this challenge that I've been experiencing this year by going into this ceremony, this plant medicine ceremony on 22/12/2022. So that's one way. Another way that I bring care in this challenge that I've been experiencing this year is through journaling, is through sharing with my friends, is through receiving a beautiful reading also from a new mentor at the end of this year. So is there a way that you can bring care or completion before the year ends even? And it might be that it goes into the new year and that you actually need to bring it into your vision on how you can continue to take care of yourself in this. And when you ask yourself, is there a way that I can bring care into this? Also look back over the year and see what has been really helping you in this challenge already. So what has been really helping you in this challenge already? Right? It's kind of a sub question for 5. What has been really helping you? So for me, this whole process of where I felt super challenged to let go of control, where I was super challenged to meet certain parts of me that felt unsafe in that, was nourishment. So nourishment has been working so beautifully for me. I wanted to receive massages. I wanted to do floating. I wanted to, like, there's all these ways in which I could feel, wow, when I really nourish my body, it actually helps me in this process. So what has already been helping you? And maybe you can give yourself that as you are closing the year. Beautiful. So like I said, this episode is fully focused on reflecting. We're not yet going into the new year, because you can do that in my free masterclass Envisioning 2023 on the 5th of January, where you can bring all of these reflections into the new vision for 2023. Yeah, like I shared, the link is below this video to sign up, or below this episode if you're listening. All right. So this was a simple reflection for 2022 on the personal level. Yeah, and you can extend it as much as you like. But from here, we are going to move towards a focus more on your business, mission, or work. Yeah, so as we're going into question 6, I just invite you to take a moment and tap into your business this year, your soul business, your mission, your work. Take a moment to tap into that, how that has been for you. And also here, if you are a little bit like me and you tend to look forward a lot, or you tend to set such high standards for yourself that you forget to celebrate, the first question also here, focused specifically on your business, your mission, and your work, is what are you celebrating and what are you proud of? What are you celebrating and what are you proud of when it comes to your business and your mission? What are you celebrating? What are you proud of? So a few of the things that I am celebrating is I am not overworking anymore. I started this year having quite the difficulty with digesting all the growth that Women of Ancient Futures was going through and is going through. And I remember at the beginning of this year saying that was my main intention for this year. If I don't tackle and transform this overwork pattern that I'm doing at the moment, I will quit my work with Women of Ancient Futures. So I kind of set a very strong ultimatum that I had to keep myself to. And I can say now that, and well over the last 6 months, I would say, I am not overworking. And I feel like I've integrated that pattern and not doing that anymore. So that's one thing I'm celebrating in connection to work. Also, I'm now the CEO of Women of Ancient Futures and no longer solopreneur. Really beautiful. And also, it has been the most consistent year in connection to content. The most consistent. Still, it's not fully consistent, but it has been the most consistent in terms of posting, in terms of emailing weekly, in terms of podcasting weekly. I'm definitely celebrating that. So feeling these are just some examples for you to open up, like which directions you can feel into. What are you celebrating? What are you proud of when you look at your business and your mission? And that will lead into what has been working well for you in your business and mission this year. What has been working well? Like one of my previous mentors, Rachel Rogers. Sorry, I needed to think of her name. Rachel Rogers. She says, what has been your $1 million decisions, right? So decisions that have been really good for your business. So one example for me is I went from 1 team member to 2 team members. That was $1 million decision and has been working really, really well. It was scary because it meant investing more, having higher costs, but also I'm receiving so much back from it. So what has been a really amazing decision that you've been making in your business? Overall, what has been really working well for me, what has been amazing, $1 million decision, was allowing support. So it was that second team member. It was working with 2 business coaches this year. It was really letting myself be supported. That has been working really, really well. And that ties into also my biggest transformation and biggest challenge, that letting go of control, because it meant a lot of delegating, allowing in a lot of support from my mentors and offering me new perspectives and helping me make decisions more easily, going through the growth more from a place of ease. Yeah. I've been working with mentors over the last 2.5 years, and I wouldn't want it any other way anymore. I feel so held, so supported, so guided. So what has been working well for you? What were some amazing decisions, actions, or creations? Yeah, that's question 7. Amazing. Number 8, what have been the practical results? Now, I know for some of us, maybe you are looking at that and you don't feel happy about it. Maybe you're looking at it and you do feel happy about it. My invitation would be to look at it. Whether you're happy with it or not happy with it, look at the practical results, because the more neutral in a way we can be about it, because sometimes maybe you haven't hit your goal that you wanted to hit, but can you still look at it and just be okay with it? It's beautiful, right? So look at your results. And if you have been hitting your goals and you feel happy with them, like with your practical results, then celebrate them. But take this time to reflect also practically, meaning what has been your revenue this year? What have been your costs this year? What have you been launching? What were your offers this year? Like we work with the team. I work with Trello, which is a project management tool that I also teach about in my mastermind and in my mentorships. But in Trello, we have this one list where we can exactly see all the projects that have been launching this year, how many signups there were, how many women we've reached. And I love it. I love at the end of the year to go over that list and see like, wow, this is all that we've been doing this year, because it's so easy to forget the amount of things that we've been doing. So your launches, your creations, maybe you can see your growth on social media, or how you've been doing with your content on social media, your email list, how you've been growing that, or maybe you've been setting it up, your visitors on your website. So just the practical results in a way, the practical numbers in a way. Yeah. So you might need some time to pause it and just go to all your platforms and check it. And then take a moment to see, how am I feeling about it? How am I feeling about it? Yes. I notice that often it's more than I think, right? So when I look at the projects, I go like, wow, we did all those projects. Like, or when I look at the email list or the revenue, like it's such a beautiful process to do this. So tapping into the practical results and then checking in, how am I feeling about it? You know? Okay, 9th question, second last one. What is calling for change, or what hasn't been working well this year? Yeah, what is calling for change, or what hasn't been working well? First thing could be that you look at your results and you go like, this is not good, and you start to judge yourself. That would be the first thing to change then. Yeah, to keep meeting yourself with kindness in that. So what is calling for change? What hasn't been working or flowing well? Taking a moment to tap into that. Some examples, if that's helpful. I feel I can still delegate more. I still have a tendency to take things on that actually I don't have to do, or that I actually don't even know how to do that well. So that's something that that is still calling for more change. This year also, we haven't been growing the email list. Actually, like not actively have been growing the email list. So that is definitely something that hasn't been working that well this year, that I will bring into next year with a really, really beautiful new approach that I will share more about in the masterclass. And I haven't been fully consistent with my content, even though my celebration was that it was the most consistent year so far in my business. All right. Amazing. Okay. So final question for this journaling practice. And for the final question, you can include both your personal questions as well as the business questions that we've been going through. Yeah. So just overall, everything that you've been writing down now. What is important to leave behind in 2022, and what will you take with you into 2023? Yeah. What is important to leave behind, and what will you take with you into 2023? And taking a moment to write that down. So one thing I will take with me is to continue to create more space and ease and freedom in my business and in my life. And one thing I want to leave behind is taking over, taking control. Yeah, that's one thing I want to leave behind. There's a lot more, but just to name some examples of what you can think about. Yeah. So what is important to leave behind, and what do you want to take with you? Amazing. Now, you can take as much time as you want to deepen this journaling practice, to continue to reflect. Like I said, I just had this. It's weird because I want to talk in the future because I have the ceremony tomorrow. But by the time you're listening, I've already had it. That's one ceremonial way that I will complete the year. And then also next week, I'm going to go into a 4-day retreat with my mastermind women, the mastermind that I co-created with 4 other amazing women. And we usually rent a house somewhere, and then we book a chef, and then we co-create a retreat. And we do this now end of the year. So we have these 4 days of reflecting on 2022 and tapping into 2023. So that's one more practical way in which I'm also bringing this sense of completion into the year. So yeah, my wish for you is that you can bring some care and attention into that this week. I'm bringing some maybe ceremonial or practical ways of completing the year. And I would love to see you on the 5th of January in Envisioning 2023, where we go into creating a growth overview for 2023, where you can start to keep track on all your platforms, where you're going to create a 3-year and a 1-year vision for yourself, your business, and your lifestyle. We're going to break your 1-year plan into a quarterly and a monthly plan, but most of all, also seeing how can you plan while you continue to let the mystery guide you, while you continue to have your intuition be your main lead, right? How can you bring those two together? And so many more things. I'm not going to read them all. You can just click on the link below and read all the information about the masterclass. And I would love to see you there. Also, just to open and celebrate the new start of the year together, to create a beautiful consistency and to celebrate, because it's already 2023 almost. And I wish you a really beautiful Christmas, beautiful holidays, a powerful entrance in 2023, and hope to see you on the 5th of January. Much love. Did you receive any inspiration, motivation, or powerful breakthroughs by listening to this episode? Then please share this episode by taking a screenshot and tagging me in your stories at nicole.nima.costeres. I would love to celebrate you, share you in my stories, and it would mean so much to have my work reach more powerful, passionate women like you. Thank you so much, and looking forward to see you next week.